What's going on? It's your boy Brian Johnson, and this is the Real One podcast finally dropping after weeks and weeks of anticipation. We are finally hit. We're waiting for people to hop in. Oh, yeah, well, there goes people hopping in live stream. How you doing? Who is this? Ooh, Deja. Deja, how you doing? You're the first person to pop in live stream. Oh, there's people popping up left and right. Okay. I don't know where y'all coming from, but I like it. Come on in the room. How you doing? How you doing? Like I said, this is the Real One podcast, keeping it real 100% of the time for the real ones all over the world. So, people that's popping in the live stream, hit me up with some topics to talk about in this first episode. What do y'all want to see? What do you want to engage in conversation about? Because, quite frankly, this show is all about you guys and what you all want to hear. So, what's up with it? What's going on, Tim? How you doing? Okay. The first question I get: top five actors of all time. That's that's a heavy hitter to start the show. But all right, I can do that. First of all, feel like first and foremost, it's got to be Denzel Washington, easily one of the five. Training Day, American Gangster, Remember the Titans by itself. Oh my God! And then after that, after Denzel Washington, hey, what's going on? Oh, live stream up to did I say 200? 200 people. Okay, no, I'm joking. That says 20. I'm wild. 20 people in the live stream. What's going on? But next act off the board for me would have to be Al Pacino. It's got to be Al Pacino. Somebody just said Denzel's overrated. I don't think so. You can't say Denzel Washington's overrated. You can't. No, that's almost disrespectful to say. Denzel Washington is overrated. Y'all are crazy. But anyway, like I was saying, Al Pacino is right after Denzel. Well, in no particular order, I'd say. The Godfather, Scarface are two of my favorite movies of all time. Somebody just asked what my top five movies of all time are. We'll get there eventually. And then after Pacino, I'd probably put Tom Hanks because it's Tom Hanks, Saving Private Ryan, Toy Story, Castaway, Forrest Gump, which I actually hate. I feel like it's a very overrated movie, but that's neither here or there. But Tom Hanks is a great actor nonetheless. Hey, what's going on? Live streaming is popping. Somebody told me to clean my room. Hey, don't worry about that. I just did laundry. I mean, it's not even that bad. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, like I said, Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is cool. And then, oh, this is where it gets hard. That's a solid three. After that, it's either got to be. I think. I think I got to go Will Smith. As soon as I said that, somebody goes, "Please don't say Will Smith." But it's got to be Will Smith. 7 Pounds, Pursuit of Happiness, the Men in Black series, Ali, Independence Day, uh, I Robot, I Am Legend. You can't, yeah, you can't leave out Will Smith. He's probably one of the most versatile actors out there. Someone said I Am Legend was a terrible movie. Um, I haven't seen it in forever. I'm not gonna lie with you. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been a minute since I've seen it. But I wouldn't say it was a horrible movie. Not at all. Not at all. Well, let's see what other Will Smith movies we got that I forgot about. Somebody said that new Aladdin movie looks trash. I don't know. I wasn't really a fan of Aladdin grow up, the original Aladdin anyway, so My expectations for the new one are already pretty low. Oh, you got Bad Boys. I forgot about that. Oh, the new Bad Boys is dropping. I'll definitely be there to see that. Somebody said Shark Tale is Will Smith's greatest piece of work. That was a great movie. I'm not even going to argue that. ATL. Will Smith was in ATL? Nah, no way. Someone said Will Smith was in ATL. Am I tripping? Will Smith was not in ATL. Yeah, he produced the movie. Okay. That doesn't count. We're talking about actors here specifically. I would say I knew I wasn't tripping. There's no way Will Smith was in ATL. But yeah, I feel like Will Smith definitely on that list. Lakeview Terrace. He was in the Anchorman too. I forgot about that. Why are y'all roasting me in the live stream? Someone said if you're not if you listen to this after the fact, make sure you hop in the live stream next time for because for some reason there's a roast session going on right now. Someone said when did Cleveland why are y'all so mean to me? Someone said when did Cleveland Jr. get his own radio show? Funny. Funny. And then for the fifth slot for my top five actors of all time, I don't know. Feel like you could do. Do I want to go Morgan Freeman? Uh, Morgan Freeman. You got Leonardo DiCaprio. Actually, no. Leonardo DiCaprio's not up there. I think I'm not that big of a fan of Leo movies. I mean, he's all right. I'm sure he's a talented dude, but I'm not a fan of Leo. Yeah, I'd put Morgan Freeman above Leo. I put Robert De Niro up there. Marlon Brando, of course. Humphrey Bogart's up there as well. No, I would not put Tyler Perry in my top five. Funny dude, definitely not my top five though. Definitely not my top five. Live stream, what's up? Tell me. I need a name for this. Oh, well, I kind of already do the real ones. So real ones in the live stream. Who's in your top five? Top five actors all time. De Niro, Pacino, Daniel Day Lewis. Daniel Day Lewis. Is that the? It's the guy from Lincoln, right? Yeah, Gangs of New York. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. All right. I don't know if he'd be top five, but okay. Pacino. Yeah, that's what I said. Pacino's my number one. Between Pacino and Denzel, they're tied for first for me. How's the audio, chat? Are we good? Should I turn it up, turn it down? What's good? I'm good. I'm good. All right. So let's keep it percolating. That was pretty easy. I think I went through that one pretty quick. Somebody hit me with another heavy hitting question. Somebody said top five movies. All right. So we're just doing top five lists for the first episode. That's cool with me. That's cool with me. Top five movies of all time. Man. Um, Number one easily is The Godfather. That's the greatest movie ever made, ever. You got Al Pacino, Marlon Brando. What's his face? James Caan's in that movie. And first of all, the first two movies in that trilogy are amazing. We're gonna pretend like the third one didn't happen, but still, Godfather one and two are easily in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. But Godfather, the first Godfather, the original, the OG, is definitely my favorite movie of all time. Somebody said the third one belongs in the $5 bin at Walmart. It's probably in there. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then next movie, top five. This is hard actually. I love movies. Top five movies all the time. Somebody said if Forrest Gump isn't in your top five, you're a sinner. Well, I must be a sinner then, because I can guarantee you Forrest Gump is not in my top five movies. Forrest Gump is not in my top 10. Actually, Forrest Gump is not in my top 20 movies all time. This shit. I love Tom Hanks. I said that earlier, but Forrest Gump is not anywhere near my favorite movie. But speaking of Tom Hanks, I think another movie I'll throw in my top five is Toy Story 2. Easily the best animated movie of all time. I don't care what anybody says. Somebody said Toy Story 1 was better than 2. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. 1 and 2 are easily my favorite. 3 was just emotional. And then coming this year, I think in June. Is it June? Chat. Is it June when Toy Story 4 comes out? Yeah, so in June. So I'll definitely be there for that. I don't. My expectations aren't that high, but I'll definitely be there to see it. So Toy Story 2 would be in my top five movies all time. And, oh yeah, thank you. Somebody reminded me in the chat. Shawshank Redemption. Yeah, that's definitely up there. Shawshank. It's a long movie, like ridiculously long movie, but Shawshank is up there as well. That's got Morgan Freeman in it. Who's the guy that plays? Who plays? Hey, Chad. Who plays Andy Dufresne in Shawshank? Tim Robbins. Yeah, Tim Robbins. This might be Tim Robbins' best movie. Honestly, couldn't name another Tim Robbins movie. Period. But as Andy Dufresne, he's easily part of one of the best movies of all time. What other movie? Let's look up what other movies Tim Robbins has been in. Oh, he was in Top Gun. Yeah, all right. Bull Durham, Mystic River, Jacob's Ladder. So yeah, like I said, Shawshank is easily Tim Robbins' best movie. Somebody, if you put Tim Robbins in the microwave, you get John Travolta. Y'all are awful people. I love you, but that was awful. Another movie in my top five. How many is that? Three? Godfather, Shawshank, and Toy Story. All right. Um. Oh, y'all making me think. After Shawshank, somebody said Finding Nemo is the best animated movie. No, I rock with Finding Nemo, but nah. Frozen? Nope. Oh my god. Don't get no. Frozen's nowhere in the top 10 animated movies in my book. Frozen is for people under the age of 15. Oh, yeah. The Avengers. Ooh, okay. Which Avengers movie be in your top five? I don't know. I feel like Endgame. Once Endgame drops, I feel like that's gonna be in everybody's top five. But I feel like you can put any Avengers in there, like specifically Avengers movies. So what is you got? Infinity War, uh, Age of Ultron, the original, the OG Avengers movie, Captain America: Civil War count? Nah. Well, nah. Specifically the Avengers movies. So yeah, any one of those three you can throw in there. Did I see Captain Marvel? Yeah, I actually saw it Friday night, Friday or Saturday night. Yeah, I went to go see it. It was actually a lot better than I was expecting. It's better than any Iron Man movie, I'll tell you that. And then my fifth favorite movie, I couldn't tell you, man. Um, there's so many movies I've watched over the years, can't even tell what my fifth favorite would be. Man, this is like asking your parents which kid is their favorite, and they say, you know, what, I just love them all equally. But then that's actually a lie because they just named four other movies that I love. But I don't know. This is yeah. Let's put Memento up there. I'd say Memento's a great movie. So yeah, I can't think of nothing else. Let's put Memento up there. Memento is a great movie. I think that's who directed Memento. I want to say it was. I want to say it was Christopher Nolan. Somebody fact check me on that. But yeah, it's a Christopher Nolan movie. It's a movie you gotta watch at least 6 times to understand it. It's got Guy Pearce in it, Carrie Ann Moss in it. Somebody said they got it on their first watch. That's a lie. I know that's a lie. I watched Memento maybe 3 or 4 times before I actually fully noticed everything that was going on in the film. Between the color schemes, the going back in the timeline, between the plot twists, everything. It took me about 3 or 4 watches to get it. So that's how I know you're lying. All right, chat. What's your top 5 movies all time? Oh, now we're talking controversy. Does Cardi B deserve the same treatment as Bill Cosby? Yikes. First of all, I don't know all the details of the Cardi B situation. Somebody link me the an article or something. But from what I understand, Cardi was in an interview where she said she drugged men, went to a hotel, drugged men, and then took the like she basically hit a lick basically. So does she deserve the same treatment as Bill Cosby? Um, if she did the same acts as Bill Cosby, I don't see why not. If there's actual legitimate evidence that she did what well she said she did it, so I feel like that's evidence enough. But she said she only had limited options to survive. Um, I feel like I don't know about that. That's tough because I don't want to say something, and people are like, "Oh, you just shaming women." What? That makes no sense. Oh, like right on cue, somebody in chat say, "Wow, you're gonna give a pardon to a man, but not a woman." No, that's actually complete opposite. Bill Cosby's in jail because he did what he did, and I feel like I'm not qualified to make the call on this Cardi B situation. When she says limited options, though, I feel like there's a lot of options out there that people just don't think about going towards. Like, first of all, I'm proud of Cardi. She's obviously made it this far, but limited options to survive. I'm just saying, I'm curious as to if she had any other job she could have taken or applied for, or any other situation she could have asked for help other than drugging people, than hitting licks. Someone in chat said, "What does hitting a lick mean?" Well, let's go to the let's go to Urban Dictionary just so I can get you an official definition. According to Urban Dictionary, hitting a lick means to commit an act that's considered a quick way to get money. For example, robbing someone is considered hitting a lick because it's done in an instant. To be used in a sentence, oh, duh, let's hit a lick on this casino this week. In and out, real quick. There you go, hitting a lick. So yeah. So basically, somebody said, "What happened to Cardi?" Well, I actually just kind of explained it a little bit. But apparently, news came out that Cardi admitted to taking taking advantage of dudes, drugging them, and then basically hitting a lick, like I just said, stealing their money and things like that, because she had very limited options at the time, and she had to do what she had to do to survive. Hey, Crystal, what's good? Somebody said they're not buying this situation. Lock her up like any other male would be. I don't know if it's a man woman situation. I don't know if it's. I don't think it's just the man woman situation. Who said that? Tim. Yeah, Tim. I don't think it's a man woman situation. I feel like it's. I don't know what kind of situation it is. I feel like if there's evidence of her being taking advantage of people, then I feel like consequences should be brought upon her, just like anybody else. Granted, we do realize the system is broken, so people get in and out however they feel. So that's a whole nother topic, probably for another day. But that's tough. Chat, talk to me. What's your opinions on the Cardi situation? Lock her up. I remember that was trending on Twitter back in 2016. Cardi was just a young woman trying to take care of her family. I get that. But I'm saying I feel like there's other options out there. Yeah, she said options were limited, but I feel like there were other legal options before drugging people, which is already an issue, and then stealing their stuff afterwards, which is also illegal. So I feel like there's other steps she could have taken before getting to that point. But that's just me. Maybe that makes too much sense. So I feel like since there's a break and everybody's going at it in the chat, I feel like it's a good time to mention our advertisers here we got on the Real One podcast for real ones all over the world. First, brought to you by Big Swins V Twins in Fayetteville, North Carolina on Merckson Road. There for all your Harley Davidson needs. Slide down there to Swindell and the Harley Davidson shop, and he'll take care of you and tell him Brian sent you. Once again, that's Big Swins V Twins for all your Harley Davidson needs down in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Supporter of the Real One podcast. Somebody said, "Do you even ride motorcycles?" No. I'm gonna keep real with you. No, I actually have no intentions of riding motorcycles. Everybody in my family does. My dad does. All my uncles do. Cousins do. It's just not for me. Does he fix dirt bikes? I'm sure he could, but it's a Harley shop, so you might want to find somewhere else. Yeah, for this to be the first episode, I'm actually rocking with how many people are actually in here. We're up to 36, which may not seem like a lot to a lot of people, but to this be the very first time I put this out, that's what's up. Shout out to all 36, 37 now. Who's this? V-Law. How you doing, V-Law? What's going on? Somebody said get back to the top 10 list. They were very interesting. All right. Somebody give me a top 10 topic. Top 20. Wow, that's crazy. I'm not. Sir, this is a family show. That we. I am not doing that one. Are you single? As far as I know. I mean, you might want to come through and change that. I mean, hey, 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 chat. Look at me. Look at me. Chat. Hey, There we go. You know, you know. Another top 10 list. Give me an option. What top 10 list you want me to do? This is a give take relationship here. I give my insight. I take the opinions from, well, you take the opinions from me. You give me the idea. So what's up? I always shifting gears to sports now. All right, I can do that. Top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. Wow. Jay said, "Be unbiased. I know you're a Panthers fan. Cam better not be number one." Well, I hate to break it to you, but Cam Newton's the greatest quarterback to ever do it. No, I'm playing. That's Tom Brady. So that might as well start off my list. Tom Brady. It's and I think it's actually close between one and two, but we'll get there. But yeah, Tom Brady. Any dude with what is it 6 rings though? This past year was 6 rings, right? Yeah, that's ridiculous, bro. Can you imagine that? A dude that was taken in the 6th round of the NFL draft is now a 6-time Super Bowl champion, 4-time Super Bowl MVP. I can't think of a time during my lifetime where he hasn't been either in the Super Bowl, made a deep playoff run, or had a losing season. I can't remember he's. I can't remember he's. I can't think of a time where he's ever had a losing season in my time. And then in most of my recent memory, he's always been in the Super Bowl, and even then, he's in the playoffs making noise regardless. So you can't tell me he's not the greatest to ever do it. Brady's assistant quarterback. No, he's not. Well, we'll never know, really. Only way we can know is if they trade him somewhere. Trade him to trade him to the Giants and let's see what he does. I feel like that's the only way to do it. Or trade him to Jacksonville would be dope. Tom Brady and Jack Tom Brady with Jacksonville's defense. If he's as dope as I assume he is, they'd win Super Bowls easily. Yeah, I'm looking at his stats right now. Tom Brady is 30-10 in the postseason. It's the most wins all time by an NFL quarterback. That's ridiculous. He has more playoff wins than some teams have playoff appearances. That's how great that man Tom Brady is. Stop sucking Tom Brady. I'm not. I'm just stating the facts. That's one. Hey, keeping it real. It's the name of the show, ain't it? It's the name of the game. Keeping it real. Tom Brady's the greatest to ever do it. Two. I told you it's gonna be close. Two. I'm gonna go Patrick Mahomes. A lot of people think, yeah, I saw it in the chat. A lot of people think he should be one, but it's only been one season. Brady's been doing this since early 2000s. So once Mahomes starts balling out consistently, then he can probably I can see him taking over the one spot. But dude threw for what 50 touchdown passes in his first year starting. It's ridiculous. Jack, can y'all hear me take sips of water when I do that? If so, my bad. Uh, I'm a drink regardless, but hopefully that's not too loud and y'all don't just hear me sipping every 5 minutes. How long this podcast is going to be? I don't know. Depends on how much we get through. I'm not going to put a time limit on it. If it's short, it's short. If it's long, it's long. Well, pause. But you know what I'm talking about. If need be, it could be 2 hours. If need be, it can be 15 minutes. So let's just go and run on and see what the end gonna be. So yeah, like I said, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Honestly, if it wasn't for that garbage um, offsides or neutral zone infraction in the AFC Championship, and how bad NFL playoff, not playoff, overtime rules are. I wholeheartedly believe the Chiefs would have beat the Patriots. 100%. They didn't, obviously, but that game was literally decided on the overtime coin flip because I knew whoever got the ball first in that game was going to go down and win that game. You never bet against, going back to Brady, you never bet against Tom Brady when his back's against the wall. Never. And then if the Chiefs would have won that coin flip, Patrick Mahomes had been balling out the entire time. So when they heated up in that second half, it's hard to say that if they would have won the coin flip, that they wouldn't have won. Who's third on my list? Um, Probably take notes before I do this, huh? But this is all off the top. I want it to be genuine. I want it to be real. Hey, that's the name of the game. Like I said earlier, we're gonna keep it real. So this is all off the top. There's no script. There's no hidden agenda. It's just a man behind the mic with a message, using my voice, using my platform when I could be doing anything else. I'm here talking to y'all. So third on my list, uh no, Blake Bortles is definitely not on my list. Shout out to Tim. I've known Tim since what's it been, like elementary school in Georgia, Joe. Tim, can I tell the people to go follow you on Instagram? Tim, you're the first person to get shouted out. You better drop your Instagram. Tim said he doesn't need all the attention. Tim, you're a clout chick. What are you talking about? But a third on my list. Y'all keep getting me off track. Nah, Tim, man, forget Tim's Instagram. I was trying to shout him out, but nah, he's playing. Somebody said next to top 10 baseball pitchers. I'm going to keep it real with you, Chief. Um, my first time watching a full baseball game was like 2 years ago, and it was a minor league Frederick Keys game. Since then, I've watched the last inning of the World Series, and I watched a Coastal baseball game a week ago. I don't watch baseball like that. So yeah, I can guarantee you that list is not being made. But third on my list, I'm gonna get through this list eventually. Hey Roy, can you turn up my headphones real quick? I can't. Yeah, appreciate it. Third, I think I gotta go Aaron Rodgers. It's got to be Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers over. I do believe he is slightly overrated, but given the rest of the quarterbacks in the league, I think even in his overratedness, we're gonna pretend like that's a word. Is it a word? Chad, is that a word? Roll with it. Oh well. But I think the things Aaron Rodgers has been able to do with the garbage that's been put around him, I think it's great. Granted, I feel like what was their record last season? Yeah, they kind of like poo pooed the bed last season, but regardless, he hasn't had a solid team around him since Jimmy Graham left. Yeah, they went 6-9-1 last season. Sheesh. But yeah, so that year they had Randall Cobb, they had Jimmy Graham, they had what's his face, white guy, Jordy Nelson. I believe Eddie Lacy was their running back, and Eddie Lacy was like 432 pounds, but that's beside the point. He hasn't really had a strong team around him, and I blame that on the front office. He has one Super Bowl, yeah. That roster was decent, but imagine if they actually put legit weapons around Aaron Rodgers, it'd be game over. If the Packers put weapons around Aaron Rodgers, I wholeheartedly believe that the Packers would be a new dynasty and the Patriots dynasty wouldn't even exist. Hot take of the day. Somebody said stop smoking that stuff. No, I'm not. That's facts. If you put a team around Aaron Rodgers of competent receivers, a defense, even half of that, you look at his receivers that years. I feel like he hasn't had anybody legitimate. I mean, he has Devontae Adams now. Devontae Adams, right? Yeah. Then he had Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb. First of all, Randall Cobb's. I don't even think he's 30 yet, but he plays like he's 42. Randall Cobb just fallen off completely. So yeah, if you put a team around Aaron Rodgers, I feel like it's a battle for the dynasty between them and the Patriots, 100%. Because Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. Shout out Stephen A. Fourth on my list, I feel like, as much as I hate to say it, because he's within the division, is Drew Brees. Um, Man consistently throws for 5,000 yards a season. Completion percentage is always above 70%. You're tripping. Andrew Luck should be higher. I haven't even put Andrew Luck on the list yet. So what do you mean he should be higher? If you're saying he should be in the top three, you're clearly smoking crack. You should probably stop doing that. Yeah, I did just say you smoke crack. Yeah. If you think Andrew Luck is top three quarterbacks in the league right now, you're clearly not right in the head. All right, bro. I'm not going back and forth. How is Andrew Luck top three? Yeah, I got to figure out a way for y'all to call in because I need to hear this argument. This is not an argument. I need to type it. You can't type this conversation. I need to figure out a way y'all can call in. But regardless of his ignorance, Drew Brees is next. Like I said, 5,000 yards consistently. He hasn't. Yeah, people say he does the most with less, but he's had besides the years where their defense was poo poo. Past few years, his defense has actually been legit. Michael Thomas has come about. Is easily top 10 receivers in the league. Tegan Jr. is a legit vertical threat that I wish the Panthers held on to. He's arguably one of the best running backs in the league in Alvin Kamara. And easily, in my opinion, even though I highly dislike the dude, but one of the best coaches in the league in Sean Payton. So that Saints team is actually stacked when you look at it. They only got one ring to show for it, but that's neither here or there. Drew Brees has been balling out regardless. What number am I on? Brady, Mahomes, Rodgers, Brees. Five. Halfway there. Five better be Andrew Luck. Bro, Andrew Luck has, I forgot, I feel like Andrew Luck, besides this season, hasn't played football for like the past 3 years. Like, I didn't hear the name Andrew Luck until this past season. Andrew Luck came in the league, was supposed to be the greatest thing ever. And granted, he came in the league, he balled out. And then I feel like he went on this like 2, 3 year hiatus. I know he was hurt, but jeez Louise. It's not his fault that he got hurt. Well, yeah, I'm not saying it's his fault, but I'm saying he can't be top three if he ain't played in forever. Like me saying I'm the greatest football player ever, and I haven't played football since high school. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. Granted, I can throw on some pads and still be nice at it. Don't let's not be confused. Hey, tell Coach Chadwell to give me some pads. And I guarantee you, I'm balling out. Guarantee you that. That's beside the point. I digress. Fifth on my list. Um, Fifth on my list. I feel like I go Philip Rivers. I'm a huge Philip Rivers fan. Not really much. Not much of a basis behind it. I feel like it's just because it's Philip Rivers. Easily one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league. One of the most accurate passers in the league. One of the best trash talkers in the league. And that's why I rock with Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers don't back off of nobody. Plus, I think that Chargers team is going to be really nice. It's going to be between the Chargers and the Chiefs for the AFC next year. I'm calling it. Depending on what Nick Foles can do in Jacksonville with that defense, I don't see them taking off like that. Patriots, I've been saying it for the past couple of years the dynasty was over, but they keep proving me wrong. So I think it'll still be Patriots. It'll be the Chiefs. It'll be the Chargers. Dare I say the Browns? No, it's not going to be the Browns in the AFC. The Browns still got a couple years to go before they actually start balling. But I think the Chargers with Phil Rivers, if Phil Rivers is still playing, and he's still playing at the level that he is, like he's not an overly great quarterback, and he's not an underwhelming quarterback. I feel like he does just enough. He makes enough great plays. He has such a high motor. He's throwing the ball 30, 40, 50 times a game on the money. You can't sleep on Philip Rivers. Was it six? Yeah, six on the list. I go Russell Wilson. Without Russell Wilson, the Seahawks would go 0-16 every single year. What's that? Facts. Ever since the Legion of Boom broke up, Seattle has low key been poo poo. Not even low key, high key, middle key. They've still made the playoffs, what, 2 or 3 years without Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, that Richard Sherman combo. I mean, they still got Bobby Wagner as the anchor in that defense, but if you take Russell Wilson off that team, they are going 0-16. He consistently drags that team to wins. Even with Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll is one of my favorite coaches of all time, even back when he was at UFC. So yeah, like I just said, yeah, part of it's Pete Carroll, 100%. But if you put any other quarterback, well, I can't say any other quarterback, but if you take Russell Wilson out of Seattle, they're not the same. He's playing behind a garbage offensive line. His only real receiver now is Doug Baldwin. The defense is decent at best. So I think they finished this year with a they finessed their way in the playoffs with what, a 9-7 record, 10-6 at best maybe. Yeah, each one of those wins, they're not winning without Russell Wilson. That's no debate. After Russell Wilson, it's got to be Cam Newton, the greatest quarterback in Carolina Panthers history. Arguably the second best quarterback in the division. Top five in the NFC. I said it. Hey, no, see, chat's getting mad. First of all, if anybody doesn't know, I'm a Panthers fan, but that has nothing to do with it. This is facts. A league MVP, three-time All-Pro. He's been Pro Bowlers. He's been a Pro Bowler what 3 or 4 times. This year was a career year for him in accuracy, his completion percentage, yards, touchdowns. Before he got hurt, of course. That's a whole nother story. He's done probably some of the most with the least amount of talent around him. Let's look at that 2015 season. His receivers. Jericho Cotchery, Philly Brown, Ted Ginn Jr., Brenton Burson, Demir Bird, Mose Frazier. These are dudes that are on practice squads on other teams right now. Cam Newton drugged these boys to a Super Bowl. Cam Newton is a fluke. He only had one good year in him. That's fake news. He was putting up, he was having better numbers this year than he was having his Super Bowl year until he got hurt. And that's another thing. The Panthers have failed that man to put an adequate amount of talent around him so he can succeed. That's starting with an offensive line. Carolina has consistently had one of the, I would say, bottom tier offensive lines in the league. People's like, why does Cam run so much? Because he has to run for his life every play because he only has 1 second to throw in the pocket. Tim, chill out, bro. Tim's in chat going crazy because he thinks I'm just rapping because I'm a Cam Newton fan. It doesn't have anything to do with the fan. That's just facts. Keeping it real. Real One Podcast. Throw that back in there. Like how I do that. That sounds good, don't it? It does. Cam Newton's easily, what did I say, six? Tom Brady, Mahomes, Rodgers, Breeze, Russell Wilson. Nope, I skipped somewhere. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, Philip Rivers. Okay, seven. Yeah, seven. That's still great, especially when you compare him to the guys I named on this list. How many more years do you think Cam has in the league? I'd say five max, and that's on the upside because he's going on what his 10th, ninth, or 10th year. Oh yeah, it's much as I hate to say it, it's probably almost over. So I think we only got a couple more years to win him a Super Bowl. And with the way this roster's shaping up, as long as the coaching staff are, actually be competent this season, I think we'll be all right. We're poised to make a deep run this year. I feel like it. After Cam is seven, right? Yeah, Cam was seven. I'd put Deshaun Watson. Ooh, hot take of the day: Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson, eighth best quarterback in the league right now. And this is simply off the eye test. Behind one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL, just like Cam Newton, just like Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson has been able to do quite a bit to get that Houston team to the playoffs. Houston only rides the coattails of their defense? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because when you think about it, Houston's been in a lot of shootouts this year when they had to rely on Deshaun Watson and that offense to pull it out. Deshaun Watson is a bust. How can you say that? That literally makes zero sense to say. Sometimes that's where y'all just say stuff just to say stuff. I mean, like I was saying, they have complete shootout games. That 37-34 game with the Colts. The 42, we had to put 42 points on the Dolphins. Putting 34 up on the Titans. The 29-22 game with the Jets. The 29-20 game with the Browns. The 32-30 game with the Eagles. Their defense is giving up points. So it's got to be that offense with Deshaun Watson leading the way that's keeping them in this game and making get into the playoffs every single year. This guy on the chat still going crazy about Andrew Luck. Yeah, I'll put Deshaun Watson above Andrew Luck. 100%. I think. Did Andrew Luck ball out this year? Yeah. He was comeback player of the year, I believe. But Deshaun Watson has been doing this for what, the past 2 seasons. Well, he's been in the league what, 3 seasons now. So yeah, his first year was all right. The second year he kind of tailed off, but he picked it back up towards the end. And then this third year, I think he's really starting to show that he can actually be a long-term franchise quarterback in the NFL. If Houston improves that offensive line, which by the way they just actually made it worse by adding the worst left tackle in the league in Matt Khalil to their roster. But if they can actually beef up that offensive line, I think they'll be all right. They'll be all right because they got DeAndre Hopkins on the outside, Will Fuller, Braxton Miller over there. Is Lamar Miller still their running back? They got Alfred Brew as well, so they've got a squad over there in Houston. I don't know if I'd put them up there with the Chiefs, Chargers, and Patriots in the AFC yet, but I feel like they're a nice young team that can make some noise in a few years. All right, I think I'm at number 9. Number 9. You know what? I'll give it to you. Number 9, I put Andrew Luck. I'll put Andrew Luck. Just going off this past season. Like I said, he's got to prove himself again. See if he can do this consistently. But Andrew Luck came back from his injury and he balled out. He took him to a playoff, won a playoff game. So I'm gonna keep that one short and sweet because I'm not trying to give this guy the satisfaction of Andrew Luck being on this list. But then 10 is hard. But I feel like 10's got to be Big Ben Roethlisberger. Pittsburgh, God knows, is an awful team, awful franchise, poorly ran franchise. But jeez, he still puts up solid numbers every single year. Ben Roethlisberger in 16 games last year, 5,100 passing yards, 34 touchdowns, 16 interceptions, 3 rushing touchdowns. You can't deny what he does. And I'm definitely not a fan of the Steelers, but anybody that can go out and do this in his what age? What are he like? 34 now? 35, 36? How old is Ben Roethlisberger? 37. In his age 37 season, he went out and balled out like that, and you can't deny it. That's like dudes like Brady balling out at his age, and Breeze balling out, and Rodgers balling out. Once you start getting up in those upper 30s, that's getting hard to do. Granted, he has one of the best, well, had one of the best wide receiver cores in the league. But you still can't deny the talent that Ben Roethlisberger had. I do think he's starting to fall off 100%. That's why he's at 10. Nick Foles should have made on the list. You could argue it. Eagles would be nothing without Nick Foles right now. They low key traded the wrong quarterback, but it's all right. Shout out Donovan Key. Who's gonna win the NFC East next season? Ooh, um, not the Giants. I can tell you that. I feel like it might be the Dallas Cowboys. It might be the Dallas Cowboys. They had the most complete team. I feel like their defense is filthy. They got one of the best running backs in the league. They got Amari Cooper. Dak Prescott is Dak Prescott. It really depends on Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott and what's his face, head coach, Jason Garrett. If Jason Garrett can call a great game and Dak Prescott can actually go down there and deliver the ball great, accurate on the run, do what he's going to need to do, be a little bit more than just a facilitator on offense, but actually go out there and make plays, throw people open, then 100% I can see the Dallas Cowboys. Jesus, I can't speak. I can 100% see the Dallas Cowboys winning. But after that, If the Redskins can find a quarterback that doesn't break their leg in the 12th week of the season, I could see them winning it for all the same reasons. They have Adrian Peterson in the backfield. They're going to have Darius Geis back off that ACL tear. Their defense is pretty stout. They just added Landon Collins, which is a huge upgrade. So if they can just find a quarterback that can stay healthy with both legs, throw a shout out to Alex Smith and Colt McCoy. Prayers up from them too. Hopefully they have a speedy recovery. But if they find a legitimate franchise quarterback, they could be right there in it with the Cowboys as well. And then the Eagles, um, they also need a healthy quarterback, somebody that can play more than 6 weeks and actually take their team to the playoffs. Eagles should low key sign Colin Kaepernick because after week 8, when Carson Wentz inevitably, like he always does, goes back out, you're gonna need a good quarterback that's gonna lead the team to the playoffs and probably the Super Bowl. They got the defense, they got the receivers. The run game is all right, but just like the Redskins, you're gonna need a quarterback that can stay healthy, that can take you to a deep playoff run. So yeah, that's the top ten list of the quarterbacks: Brady, Mahomes, Rodgers, Breeze, Philip Rivers, Russell Wilson, Cam, Deshaun Watson, Andrew Luck, and then Big Ben Roethlisberger. So at this point, let's get away from the top ten. Let's have a real conversation. What's going on with the real ones? Let's just do a Q&A real quick as we wrap this up. Literally anything. How's life? There we go. That's a good question. How's life for the real one community? There's 41 people in here. Wow. First of all, before I get these questions, to every single one of y'all that came through, I rock with y'all, and I really appreciate that. Because one of the biggest things for me was actually starting this. As y'all know, it's been a minute. I had this idea in late November, and to see it actually be what it is now, and have almost like what we peak out at like 50 people at one point. And this, I didn't put anything out. This was just like kind of a soft launch, see who comes through. But I appreciate it. I definitely advertise better next time. But for this just to be a soft launch, a low key grand opening, if you will, I, I appreciate that. I really do. Somebody asked if I was a Christian. Oh boy, hey, 100%, all day, every day. Without God, I'm nothing. And quite frankly, if you don't know Jesus, I encourage you to get to know him. Ask me. You can DM me on Twitter, on the podcast Twitter at Real One Podcast, or on my personal Twitter at underscore King Johnson 24. Um, we can have that conversation because I can go on and on and on about salvation and living right and things like that. I'm not saying it's gonna be perfect. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but I guarantee you, a life with Jesus is 10 times better than a life without him. Somebody said, "Oh, I'm gonna keep it anonymous." What? Not really. I mean, your username's on the screen, so it's not really anonymous. But I won't throw it on the airwaves. All right. Struggling to know my self worth. I feel like people dislike me, even though they've never directly said it. What do you? What advice do you have? Well, first of all, I feel like the first simple question is, why do you care so much about what people think about you? I feel like that's a lot of the issue in this generation. We care way too much about what people think about us. First of all, the only person you really need to please is God, at least in my belief. You may believe whatever, but the only person you need to please is God because that's the only person that has a place to put you. Then please yourself. As long as you think that you're good, you look good, you sound good, you dress fine, then don't worry about what other people got to say. Hey, shout out to Medea for all these quotes. But people, but like he said, Tyler Perry said one of his plays, people are going to throw dirt on you until the day you die. The day they put you in the ground, they're going to throw dirt on you. It's going to be the same all throughout your life. You just got to brush it off and keep going. Trust me, I've had people talk about me all the time. They were in here roasting me earlier. It doesn't bother me anymore because I simply just don't value people's opinions like that. I simply don't care what people have to say about it. And yeah, I take positive criticism. That doesn't mean I'm not open to suggestions or anything like that. But people that are just openly being negative, you just got to brush that off. Because for me specifically, I know who I am and I know whose I am. So that doesn't really affect me at all. Hopefully that answered your question. That was kind of brief, but I could, if we want to go biblical, I could go biblical. Yeah, DM me, 100%. My DMs are open. If anybody needs to talk, anything like that, keep it anonymous. You can DM me. What do you do in your spare time in college? Well, do a lot of things. I host a podcast, Real One Podcast, hosted by yours truly. If you didn't know, oh, you did know. I wonder why. What a coincidence. Um, I'm a football coach here at Coastal. I recruit kids. I watch film, break down film, stuff like that. Um, I'm a part of a community called Soul, which is a young adults crew that's just bent on loving people and changing the city of Myrtle Beach with the love of Jesus. And besides that, I've just met a lot of great people through that. Not even just through the Jesus aspect of it, but just the people aspect of it. It's just great people with a common goal. And I encourage anybody, if this isn't a paid advertisement or anything, but anybody, young adults in the Myrtle Beach area, come out to Soul. It's actually cruise week right now. We're going to 7:10 tonight if you want to come through. But yeah, get plugged into a community, especially if you're in this area. I encourage you to come out to Soul. But if you're wherever you listen at, find a community of people that you can bond with. So just so you can just get out of your room, get out your comfort zone a little bit. You can't grow in comfortability. You can't. This kind of went off topic from the conversation, but since we're here, you got to find a connection to a community of people that can support you, that are gonna love you, gonna hold you accountable. That's what soul is for me. I got my brothers like Carson, CJ, Austin, Bradley, many others that are gonna hold me accountable, and they're all a part of that community. One of them just texted me just now as we speak. But yeah, get plugged in somewhere. Find something you love to do. Find a group with a common goal that you have, and get involved. Oh yeah, that was the original question, huh? What would I do in my spare time? Yeah, get involved. Get involved. I believe we should probably start wrapping this up, huh? Yeah, it's been about an hour and 5 minutes. Uh, Anonymous username. Okay, it's quite the username. Says, I really enjoyed the podcast today. Hopefully, this continues going on. Man, I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. This is after the first episode. Hopefully, there are many, many more after this. We will improve. Matter of fact, yeah, y'all get at me. If there's anything I can improve on this, let me know. Like I said, this is the first episode. So let me know if the audio needs to change, the content needs to change, anything, let me know. Get me up. Well, any other burning questions for your boy? That's another thing. Let me know. Get at me on Instagram, Twitter, both my Twitter and the podcast Twitter, on specific topics and things you want me to talk about. We talked about Cardi B today. A lot of today was the top 10 list, but I feel like this can be much more. It can be politics, it can be music, it can be life. We did touch on life with the self worth question. It can be anything except for like math and other devilish stuff like that. But this is a fun family environment. This is what I'm branding it to be. And I can only see this thing getting better and better. Should I have a. Nah, never mind. I was about to give away secret. I got some stuff up my sleeve. I got some stuff up my sleeve, but I appreciate y'all for coming through for this first episode. All y'all real ones in the chat, I appreciate you. All the real ones listening, wherever you may be listening on, I appreciate you. I really do. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you. Keep being real. Keep loving people. Keep God first. This is Brian Johnson signing off from the Real One Podcast. You're